Welcome back to Booze on the Rocks. My name is David Edwards, and today we're going to do something special. I'm going to make a 12-mile limit Prohibition cocktail, and I'm going to test it out against Truffles on the Rocks social distancing cocktail, and I'm going to see which one I like better, because at this time, collaboration is everything. Let's get into it. Alright, it's great to have every single one of you back here today. Today is a special day. Today works in collaboration with Jean-Felix from Truffles on the Rocks. Because of the present situations where we can't get out, a lot of bars are closed, we decided to collaborate together to make a video. And you know what? He's not physically going to be here, although however there will be a picture of him very, very soon floating above my head. What you will see is a cocktail that he created and mailed to me. I have no idea what's in it. And you know what? That makes me really stoked. So to get a good idea of what I should be measuring it against, I'm creating the 12-mile limit. It is a Prohibition era cocktail, and it is named after the law that it takes place over. So during Prohibition, the original line was 3 miles. However, this was also called the rum line too. So you would get the rum runners that would stop at that line, all the fishing boats and small boats would come out, grab the liquor, and then go into their small little bays and inlets. Partway through Prohibition, the Coast Guard and the government got together and said it should be a 12-mile limit because that puts you out to sea and it's harder for the small craft. And yes, as a Coast Guard, we can finally catch them. However, the US government decided, you know what? We want the tax money back, repeal Prohibition, and everybody was happy, right? So let's get into this. The first thing we need is our mixing glass or shaking glass, whatever glass you want to call it. It could even be a steel tin if you're using a shaking tin. And my nose is itchy, hold on. Okay, so the first thing that you need is your white rum of choice. Some of the recipes I've seen will ask for a silver rum or a white rum. I'm using Havana Club 3-year rum. And we need 1 ounce or 30 milliliters. The next parts are very, very simple. They're all exactly the same measure. So we'll get rid of this and we'll grab this nice little half jigger here. We need some rye. This is a rye whiskey. This is Bullet Rye Whiskey, which makes this 95% rye. We need 1/2 ounce or 15 mils. I nearly said 30 there, but it's 15 mils. Your next alcohol of choice is cognac or brandy of your choice. I'm using Hennessy brandy. And it's actually a cognac, it's a VS cognac. I really like this, it's quite good, it's tasty, it's full bodied. And you need 1/2 ounce or 15 mils. Ooh, look at that. But wait, we need the lemon. Give it a bit of a roll first. We need the same amount of lemon, but what we are going to do is roll it. What this does is helps to release the juices inside. I have also heard that you could microwave your lemon for about 10 seconds if it's an older lemon, and this will help release all the juices better. Grab this, grab your squeezer, and squeeze. Looking good. Throw this over here, and we're not done. The next thing we need is Grenadine, and I'm using a homemade Grenadine which consists of pomegranate juice, sugar in equal measures, and of course you cook it down and you render it till it becomes more syrupy. Add a little bit of orange flower water. If you don't have that, you can use orange oil, or you can actually use Cointreau or triple sec. Use it in a slightly larger amount and let it boil down some more. That will also help to allow it to last longer. 1/2 ounce or 15 mils. It's looking pretty good. Let's grab some ice and shake this for a good 10 to 15 seconds. Give it a spin. Oh yeah, look at that. Get this out of the way. Smack that with the strength of 1,000 sums. It nearly came right out there. Put this here. Now the one thing I do need is a lemon twist for this. I didn't do that, so let me grab another lemon. So I've got that. And we're gonna double strain this into a fancy little Nick Nora glass. I nearly said coupe, and I don't know why, because they're two different sizes, two different shapes, and however, this is a fancy Nick Nora. So we're gonna take this, you're gonna take your wide peeler if you have one handy. If you're really, really good with a knife, you can do this. I, however, am not super good with a knife. I have a tendency to chop things very, very hard. And here we go, we'll just make this really, really nice. Because, you know, it's a special day, so we should have a nice presentation. Put that over there. Give this a bit of a squeeze first, and give this a bit of a twist. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to put a small slit in there and see if I do this right, it will sort of stay. Look at that. Nice, sweet, tidy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this over here. All right, it's biography time with David Edwards. And you know what? I was supposed to give you some information about Jean-Felix from Truffles on the Rocks, but I was so excited to try his cocktail that I forgot to do this. So as punishment, I'm gonna drink some 151 just for you on camera. However, having said that, now Jean-Felix has worked in the woods behind the Fairmont Frontenac in Quebec for the last 8 years. For 2 of those years, he was the bar manager there, or beverage manager, depending on what you want to call it. Now, in 2018, he stepped back from that position, which allowed him to focus on Truffles on the Rocks with him and his wife. This also gave him a much better work-life balance because he's not a fan of the late night shifts. However, he does still work there 2 to 3 nights per week when the bar is open, of course. So, just for that, no, back to the show. All right, and now the part I'm super stoked for. Jean-Felix sent me a cocktail in the mail, and we're not really supposed to do that, but you know what? Look at this, social distancing Truffles on the Rocks. So this is what you do when you're far away and you want to enjoy a cocktail together. And I just can't wait. He told me just enough to be able to serve it, and I have no idea what's in here. It looks really good. I must say that. Oh yeah. So, the first thing, grab your mixing glass. Grab your spoon because you will need this. Take your knife, clean off the lemon guts, and what we're gonna do is just give this a little bit of a slice like so. Pop that open, and now we're gonna pour it in. Yeah, you know, he even drew a smile on here because that's what friends do. Put that there. And you know what I need now is I need some ice. We are going to stir this for 60 revolutions, as Jean-Felix told me. So get my scoop and we'll get some ice. Okay. All right, look at that. Perfect. Take your spoon, 60 revolutions. Look at that. I'm not even gonna lick the spoon just to test it out or test its, oh yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're going to serve this in a rocks glass. And the first thing we're gonna do is go out to the backwoods, to the icebergs, and we are going to chip a proper chunk of glacial ice. All right, it's looking good. Grab your julep strainer. And what we'll do is we'll just strain it over this nice piece of Canadian Arctic ice. Oh yeah. Move that here. Look at that color. Oh, beautiful. All right, so we need to garnish this. And we're gonna garnish this with a lime slice. We're gonna put that right here. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous, and it's falling in. Not bad. I'm good with that. All right, so I gotta try this one first, and then I gotta try Jean-Felix's. Oh, you know what? I don't need that. Okay, it smells good, so I immediately get the scent of lemon because of the lemon oils from the Garnish and the lemon juice. I get a little bit of bourbon and a little bit of cognac out of there. It's not even bourbon, and I apologize. It's actually rye whiskey because it's Bullet, and I keep thinking Bullet's always bourbon, but it's not. Oh, that's good. That is really, really good. You would think that the whiskey and the cognac would take over, but the lemon juice and the homemade grenadine and the rum really balance it all out together. Oh yeah. And you know what? Hold on. That's not gonna work. Damn it, I need some water to, never mind. I'm gonna look at this. This gorgeously clarified cocktail is sneaky because it gives off almost no scent. I smell a little bit of the lime. Oh my, oh, this is good. Jean-Felix, oh yeah. I'm not even sure what I taste. It's just a little bit of tartness. I don't know what you put in there. I just can't pull it apart. Oh, this is so good. You know what, everybody? Watch his video and find out what he put in this. It will be up today. I know this. I'll put a link down to his YouTube channel down in the description down below. This is really good. It is so dangerous. I could drink these at any time of the year. Oh, yeah, you know. It's just, there's a hint of something that, You know what, I must be slightly off by this because of the citrus. I know there's citrus in there, and I'm not talking about just that, but these are, that's great. How's this again? This is really good, but that is worlds better. This one does not taste like something that's boozy. This does. You know what? I'll put the method and ingredients of how to make this down in the description below. There will be a link to Truffles on the Rocks down below. Please take the time to go take a look at this, and I'm sure you've already seen a bunch of his videos, but go show him some love. And you know what? Hit the thumbs up button for both of these, especially this cocktail. And we will see you next time. However, what I'm doing is making the 12-mile limit, which is a Prohibition era cocktail. And I just stumbled over my words. Hit stop. All right, it's great to have every single one of you back here today. I am stoked. This is a special episode. And why do you ask? As I hear the words, why, come at me out of the internet and at the screen.